All right. Welcome to Stock Tricks with Nick, a little midweek edition. So I think we're going to be doing these midweek mover episodes on Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Central Time, just to kind of break up the week. I think going through my full list on StockTwits takes me a lot of time to comment on that, and it might just be easier to see what stocks you guys want me to look at and go through what I'm currently in and some things that I'm watching for the end of the week. So if you're new to Stock Tricks with Nick, we do, we're going to be doing these Wednesday live streams, 7 p.m. Central, targeting 20 to 30 minutes, a little bit quicker than the Friday live stream, but it'll depend on how many charts you guys want to look at. I am not on a time limit, so if you guys have questions, I'm here to answer what I can. So use the chat as much as you can. Outside of this Wednesday live stream, we'll do a longer one on Fridays, usually around 60 to 75 minutes. And with that, I'll go through the full week of trading, always showing my winners and losers. Losers especially, that's a staple to this channel. We're trying to be as real as possible and share both sides of the coin. So also with that Friday live stream, we don't just go over the technical analysis on of charts. We go over how to collect your trading statistics, how to use those trading statistics to kind of build a plan to scale out of winning trades, how to cut losses quick. So I will have I will have September's trading results in and aggregated, so we'll go over that this Friday. And let's see, outside of that, I am starting to finally film the Trading 101 classes or courses. Got one filmed last Sunday, and that's in editing right now. So with that, we have a lot of new traders in the market, so we're going to be putting together these courses from basics to intermediate, a bunch of different types of strategies, how I got started in the stock market, different types of orders to use, a lot of different videos. So if you have anything that you'd like to speak specifically for that, leave that in the comments and I'll add that to the list of Trading 101. With that said, let's just jump in because I'm a little over trading here, so I do have a lot of positions to share, have a lot on my watch list, and I also got some from StockTwits to cover. So let's jump to the chart here really quickly. As you can see on this, which side is it? This bottom band here, that'll explain what's on my chart, but really quickly let's run through it. The 200-day simple moving average is this yellow line. The red line is the 50-day simple moving average. Green line, 20-day simple moving average. Purple line, 8-day exponential moving average. I really like that for the short-term swings. And these blue bands are the Bollinger Bands. The center is the 20-day simple moving average, and then it's 2 standard deviations away from that. So kind of creates a volatility band around the stock. Down here we have daily volume and the 50-day average volume. So we can see if big buyers are coming in. That's what we want to see right before a breakout, or right in a breakout process. So have that red line here. And then we have the price relativity to the QQQ, which is the NASDAQ 100. So with price relativity, we always want to buy stocks that are relatively strong and getting stronger, so we can so we're not buying junk. We're always buying the strongest stocks, because eventually what seems expensive now is going to get a whole lot more expensive. What seems cheap now is probably going to stay cheap. So, all right, let's jump to it. Right, so Jason, that's a great question. He asked an example of how you sell off a position into strength as the stock moves up. So I'll kind of give you a reason why I do sell into strength. And the main thing is, let's just jump into it. It's my biggest loser of the week, so let's start with the losers. It's CLSK. This was a beautiful, beautiful setup that I actually got a decent amount of size on, and then last night they went through an offering. So you can see it's down 13.8% today, and I got stopped out in the morning. But let's just jump through this setup really quick. You can see this flag. Well, first off, look at the price relativity, super strong. Pulled back here. I had nothing to do with this first jump up, but started getting interested around here when it came back on my screen. Tested, kind of moved up, but I was in some other positions, waiting on it, and then I bought with the breakout over the previous day's high here, and we did get some volume coming in. So what we want to see is basically a peak with a lot of volume, and then that sideways movement, or that kind of flag movement with lighter and lighter volume. So eventually, when a big buyer comes in, there's going to be some illiquidity to the stock. And people say, like, oh, you don't want illiquidity. You do if you're going to be on the right side of the movement. But sometimes that stock breaks down, and that's why you don't put your entire portfolio in a single position. I think I started with 10% here, but as it moved up, as it went through a multiple of my average gain on a winning trade, so that's why it's so important to keep trading statistics. It went through an average, I think it might have been even a little less, but so many positions were working, I tried to get a little bit lighter. So sold 10% of the position into strength. So right now, on my average win, at least going back to September, is about 7.5%. So if I'm in a trade that's immediately working out for me and is up 7.5%, I'll just take 10% of the position, sell it into strength, move my stop loss closer to the break even, maybe to break even. And then the next multiple, so 7.5, the next one would be 15. I'll take 10% more off. The next one's 21. After the third multiple, and this has only happened once since I've started the strategy, after that point, I just kind of let it run and move my stop to my entry to lock in a winning trade, lock in some profit, and let it go from there. So that's how I'm scaling out of winning trades right now, selling into strength. Selling into strength is definitely kind of my chink in my armor, in my chain, whatever, where I'm trying to improve that, because there's so many strong stocks that will keep running for you if you give them the room to. So I do move my stop loss up, not immediately, but once the stock kind of breaks out and you see the 8-day exponential moving average coming up kind of over my entry point, then I'll start moving it closer and closer to my entry. So I could, if I get stopped out, it's at my entry for break even, but it's still below the 8-day exponential moving average, where if a stock's breaking out and just pulling back a little bit, it might not break under that point. So great question. Hopefully that helped. But yeah, CLSK had 10% of my portfolio, that initial entry on, took 10% off, so it's like 8% position on it, and I sold a third of it after hours yesterday, and then just wiped the rest throughout the morning. So I didn't get all the way up here, unfortunately. Sold some pre-market, which probably wasn't the right thing to do, but just trying to get out of the position. So big loser for me. I think maybe my biggest loss in a couple months, because I tried to add position on it, looked good, didn't work out. But that's why you don't put your entire portfolio in one stock. You have no idea what's going to happen after hours or with tweeting, as we learned this week. So that's my biggest loser, CLSK. Let's get into some winning trades. And this will be a little bit rapid fire, because these are stocks that have already kind of broken away from their bases. So I don't advise getting in at this point, but it's good to study the charts of winning trades. So AVTR, you can see, actually, let me pull this down. You can see I've tried this 3 times and it's just starting to go now. So I had a kind of resistance line right above there. Every time it broke out just by a little bit and it would pull back, go through my stop loss, stop me out. Actually, this is my 4th try. 4th time's the charm, maybe. We're getting a little bit of volume, breaking out, closing above the Bollinger Band. Looks good so far, and that's that basically. With this, it was getting less and less magnitude on those pullbacks, and that's what we want to see from the volatility contraction pattern. I probably should have been a little bit more patient on some of these buys, but at the time they looked good. I wonder how many of these buys were in the first 30 minutes of the day too, because that's something that I've really been trying to avoid lately, is not trading the first 30 minutes, first hour, because there's so much volatility there. A lot of false breakouts happen. So it'll be interesting. I'll go back through this and see how many of those are. That's AVTR, looking good right now. Boot, BOOT. This was one of the only ones working for me on Friday. Ran up here on good volume, and then you see volumes lightening up as it's kind of just pulling back here, shaking some people out. I got in with a break over this high here, and this was a stock that was recommended to me on Twitter, so that's why it's so important to follow good traders on Twitter, follow good traders on StockTwits. There are great ideas out there. This one didn't come across any of my radars, but got to me on Twitter. So follow the right people and you'll make money. With this, bought over the break, got big volume on the breakout. That's what you're looking for. The more volume on the breakout day, the better it's going to hold. You saw kind of a longer, again, here I sold some into strength. But then with the Trump's tweet, I did sell some just because I was trying to lighten up all my exposure in the portfolio. But look at this. The 8-day exponential moving average held beautifully. Low of the day, bounced right off that. The selling volume was a little bit concerning, but now that I think of it, it probably had to do with the longer wicks. There was probably some volume up here because basically this closed like down 0.5%, down 0.5% these 2 days. And then today we got some follow through with similar large volume. Up a little bit after hours, but it doesn't trade much after hours. So, looking good. Yeah, Jason, every Friday I do a Follow Friday. So if you go through my past tweets, you'll see all the people that I recommend on there. Hope that helps. Really quick, man. Trying to keep this quick for you guys, but CARR, CARR, kind of similar thing. Tried to take the trade once before, got stopped out. I might have just taken profits on this. I'm not quite sure. But here we draw that resistance line. Got in with the break over that. The thing that concerned me about that was the volume was really light, so I didn't get in with a heavy position here. Got good follow through. Let's see, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. On Monday, when Trump was back healthy, closed over the upper Bollinger Band. Then we had what looked like a good day going, pulled back, but really, really low volume. Today, we had an inside day on low volume. I think this is still ready to roar, so not taking anything else off this stock. CLDX was my big winner of the week, and this is another example of if you get shaken out of a trade, don't just throw it out because it hurt your feelings that you lost on it. 3 times I had bought when it broke out and got stopped out shortly after. Bought when it broke out, got stopped out shortly after. I actually sold this third one in this upper wick because I was leaving for vacation, so I was just trying to get all my positions liquidated. Fortunately, and that I went on vacation when the entire market was really shaky, feeling like that was a great time to go. Unfortunately, This had a huge pop up, missed it. That was 33%. But just because I missed the pop doesn't mean when it does that. Doesn't mean I throw the chart away. So what was I looking for here? I wanted that pop, that breakout on huge volume. We got that. A little bit of continuation the next day, good volume, but then really volume lightened up as it was just creating this bull flag here. I was waiting for that 8-day exponential moving average to come up, provide some support. And when things coil for this long, when they move, they tend to move hard. So I knew once we broke out of this little bull flag that I wanted to get some size on the position. So I think instead of using the flag, I went with a break over the previous day's high here. So got in, and then it just kind of did nothing. I was a little bit surprised by that. But again, 8-day exponential moving average still held. And then yesterday we got the huge volume, plus 20%. Scaled out a couple times in there. And then even today with this long upper wick, I took some profit there. So I'm, for the most part, out of this trade. I think I have like 25% of my position left. I don't like the... You would rather this close up in the upper wick to keep it going, but we'll see. If this flags out again, creates a good buy point, then I'll get back in. So that's CLDX. I have to look at the amounts, but I think that might be my biggest winner of the week. CRM. This is one that I've traded in the past, but broke out. Let's see what this breakout is. So 26%. And kind of faded up, then pulled back down. And I tried to trade this little flag here, breakout on volume, but when it came back through there, I got stopped out for either break even, 1 or 2% loss. Not much, but still on my radar. Was coiling nicely, and then really light volume, which is ideal. And we put in a slightly higher low here. So here's like the low point of the pullback, moved up, and had a little pullback day to that 8-day exponential moving average, and the 20-day simple moving average is right below. So you could have used the bracket stop loss below each of those to provide 2 layers of stops. But I bought in yesterday with 10% of my portfolio, scaled out 5% just as I was trying to lighten up everything. So still sitting in 5% right now. Today, low of the day hovered just over that 8-day and went up all day. A little bit lighter volume. We'll see what comes after hours because E-Trade's a little bit slow on their volume for the current day. But this looks good. Looking for this to retest all-time highs, and that would be a 9% move with some, hopefully some volume there. But zooming out, this has been, you could see, just really strong and good price relativity through there. So that's CRM. If it pulls back on low volume, might be something you guys look to add. EXPI. Wanted to go over this one again because it's just such a beautiful chart. Another one that I've tried a couple times. That's why you don't throw away those charts. Pulled back, popped up, and then gave this low cheat. So got a little cup, and the handle's right there. So I bought on the break over, I think it was the second day, the 929 high of 42.66. So once it broke over that, let me just move this up a little bit. Once it broke over that, I bought. Immediately started working out for me. Immediately, you saw big volume. The next day was when Trump got COVID, or announced that he had COVID, but it held up really well. I didn't do anything for the first 30 minutes of the day, first hour of the day. It dropped down, bounced off that 20-day simple moving average, stayed strong the entire day. So I didn't do anything that day. And then on Monday, we got great follow through, even more volume, and since then this has just been floating up. So as this goes through a couple multiples of my average gain, I've been taking some shares off. My stop's now at my entry. I'm just letting it run. But this is exactly what we're looking for. We're looking for really strong stocks that we might have missed the first move, but that start to coil up as volume gets lighter and lighter and lighter until you can get a low risk entry where you can put your stop under a couple of the moving averages and still keep it at 5 to 7%. So this was really good chart to study for future breakouts. So LAZY, lazy. This is one, again, that I had tried once before. I think I had tried it on the day that I was leaving. Kind of dumb for me to do that, but looked like it was coiling super nicely for that, right? So I bought on that day, sold on that day, whatever. And then it pulled back down. Volume's getting lighter and lighter and lighter. I really look for light volume in the pullbacks because, again, that creates that illiquidity. Once big volume comes in, it shoots up. And we saw, bingo, big volume, moved over. I bought, let's see what price I got in at. I think I got in a little bit late. So that was 1341. 1341, somewhere in this wick. Yeah, a little bit later yesterday to it. But today we saw a low of the day. Low of the day hit my entry, so nothing to worry about. Still big volume, clean move higher. So looking for this to go back to all-time highs. It's not 17%. Let me measure it from current price. So that'd be 14% move, maybe even pushes higher, but I'll take 10% off every time it goes through that multiple. MAXR, another strong name that has really given traders some fits with the volatility in here. And what I found, the more it shakes before a breakout, the stronger that breakout will be. So shook a bunch of times, then got this low cheat through here, bought in, and then on, what was that, Tuesday, I added to the position when it broke over $27, this point right here, and then it broke over and just kept running. So I was thinking, this is great, big winner. Pulled back down to 27. Again, I took off a little bit of what I added just to lighten up the entire portfolio in case we didn't see the day we saw today. And but we did great follow through, really solid volume so far. We'll see how this goes, but again, big winner, pull back on light volume, and then I missed this, totally missed this, but didn't take it off my watch list. Gave me a really nice entry through here. PEIX, an old friend of mine. We had a perfect VCP, volatility contraction pattern right through here. I got in at 428 on this day where I did even like a really low cheat, so I could put my stop loss under both that 20-day, the green line, and the 8-day exponential moving average, purple line, right down here. I don't think it ever went below my my entry point. It started working right away, huge volume, and then you see all the red flags. I was just selling into strength all the way through there. Felt like it was getting a little bit overextended, and sure enough, started pulling back. But the pullback volume was lower than the breakout volume, which is good. That's constructive. Wasn't here for the breakout here, but came back, added it to my watch list, and then let's see what price. I got in at 806 average. I was kind of scaling into the trade. Is this 806? A little bit higher. So I got in at 806. Worked right away. Took some off, but big buying volume through here. Low of the day, basically bounced off 8 yeah, bounced off right around my entry. Didn't sell into any weakness. Sold a little bit more into strength when it broke over 9. Figured it would break over 9 and then pull back for the day. See how that goes. So PEIX, a little bit overextended. If you're looking for it, let's see if it pulls back to that 8-day exponential moving average. So let's see. Just 2 more until we get to the ones that are going to break out, hopefully. So SE right here, we got in on this day with a low cheat through here. So you see the cup and pulled back on super low volume. So as the buying's happening, we want big volume. That's what we saw. And then on the selling, the pullback days, we want low volume. Bingo. So got in on this day, kind of just bounced around, didn't do anything. And then today I sold a little bit into strength, not too much. So just 10% of it in the upper wick, I think. Let's see, what price did I get? Some out. 170. So a little bit higher than we're at now, but this is just starting to peep over. I think the volume is going to start coming, and looks really good to break out. If we do see any pullback, this is still primed, ready to go. This is my largest holding right now, SE. And SSTK, this is another Twitter stock that got to me. So I've called it out, gave him credit. Javi, thank you. Beautiful coil up here after a huge breakout. This volume's a little bit concerning, so I'm not going to be trying to hold this forever, but trying to get some wins. And then you see pullback of, let's see here, 7% from the high there to the low, 5.3% from the high to the low, and then I got in a little bit late here too. 53.86. Oh no, I basically used the high of the previous day to get in. And look at that volume. That's beautiful, right on the breakout. That's what we want. And that's why we saw continuation today. Big buying volume on the breakout days. You're going to see continuation. So those are all the stocks that that I have currently that are already kind of extended. Let's get to some that I'm in right now but are raring to go. CMBM. Don't even have to say too much here. A lot of things to work around there. You get the point. Lower highs and higher lows, so we're getting that flag formation. Didn't put too much size on this trade because volume's kind of been weird the last couple days, so not trying to hit a home run with this, but looks like it could start moving here. You see it's sitting right on that 8-day exponential moving average. Need to see some volume. Haven't seen the volume yet. Sorry about that. But have that 20-day simple moving average and a couple lows of previous days where I can put my stop to get me out of there. So let's see if this starts moving. If it doesn't, I'll just cut that. CRDF. This one, you see, jumped up 96% in 3 trading days. And then look at that sell-off volume. Super light. That shows strength. Huge buying volume, very light sell-off volume. Stays above that 8-day exponential moving average. And then from there, let's zoom back out, bounces over the high to, I don't know, another 37%. That's awesome. Pulls back, and that bounced on big volume, pulled back on low volume, had a green day on big volume, and this is where I got in. I got in with the break over the previous day's high, and I got in with 10%. So when things started working against me, took 5% off. But we'll be looking to add that 5% on if we break over today's high of, let's see, what, 1364. I think I started at 1352. So we're not far away from my entry. This looks ready to go. Volume pattern shows exactly what we're looking for a future breakout. CRDF. JD.com. This was one that I've been posting about on StockTwits a lot. Totally missed this breakout, but look at this volatility contraction pattern. A lot of waves there. One more pullback, and then boom, big volume on a really clean touch of the 20-day simple moving average, then moved higher. And all throughout that, let's see, yeah, what was that? That was a 30% move. Kind of wiggled, moved higher, but that was when everything was getting extended. That was the peak of the market. Then started pulling back. Let's see, I'm not sure what that trade was. I think I might have shorted that for a little bit. But then right here, so we got that cup, and we got a low cheat handle here. So bought, it says I bought today. Yeah, bought today. Sorry, too many. Bought today at 78.63, so 78. That was just a little bit over the previous day's high. We got good buying volume on these two slightly green days. Looking for a break over now that the cup's top here and a move up here. So move up to the high point would be 10% move. Looks good so far. Isn't too far extended. If it pulls back, you got that 8-day and you got that 20-day simple moving average for support. LVGO, this one's been a little bit tough to trade. You see I've tried it once before, but drawing just a really quick resistance line here. Bought as it poked over here. Sold a little bit yesterday, and bought that back when it broke over, and then it pulled right back. So this had run 500%, I think. Yeah, something really, really strong. I'd say 500%. And then look at how little the volume has been since that wave up run. So getting a really tight channel here. You got that 8-day exponential moving average providing support. You can see all the lows of the days. Basically over that, minus the one day we gapped lower and then closed higher. Close is more important than the open, in my opinion. So this looks primed, ready to go. Break over today's high, and we're going to see some movement, I think. MITK, a little bit of a lighter volume stock. So if you're trading with big money, probably staying away from this. But we got a move up, let's see, 40%, pull back on decent volume. And then similar to LVGO's chart, you're seeing a move there. I used this little low cheat there to get some stocks over the break of the previous day's high. But all the green days have more volume than the selling days. It's constructive. So we'll see how this goes. Don't have a ton of position on this, but still looks constructive. So took it today. Then NIO, jumped the gun on this a little bit today. So, but same story. Up what 500%? Up 500%. Super strong name. And then look at every time this breaks out, it does so on huge volume and then pulls back on decreasing volume, as this created a great VCP right here and broke out, got 52% on that breakout, waved in there, again, same pattern, volume getting lighter and lighter, and hopefully we're getting that same pattern because this is basically, I guess, the fourth base, one base there, two base, three base, kind of fourth base on the climb higher. I'm not looking for a home run here. If this can start moving up, that's the flag right there. If this can start moving up 10, 20%, I'll start taking positions off. But it looks really good and has been a winner. So let's keep an eye on this. If it breaks over today's high of 21.77, let's get the party going. So that's NIO. We'll just skip some of these. Tesla, this is one everyone's traded, but looking really constructive through here. Let's see. I had this drawn through here and was going to pick up some shares as it broke over that, but it gapped up, and I was doing my new strategy of waiting for the first hour or so to play out, and didn't really move on big volume, so a little bit concerned about that, so I didn't take the trade. But you see these waves here, and now this is getting really, really tight through here. I bought today with the breakover. I could have bought a little bit earlier, but I ended up buying over a break of the previous day's high, so that was 428.78. I don't know what I got filled at, 428.79, perfect. But little volume here, but you got the 8-day exponential moving average, the 20-day simple moving average right below that. This is making higher lows each time in the flag here. Tesla, I think, obviously has the market strength behind it. It loves to jump. Look at what it's done this year. So if we see a breakout here, first test will be that previous high, and that'd be a 20%-ish move. So really looking at Tesla to move. I do have 10% of the position on this. And Zoom, which is driving me nuts waiting for, but the more it consolidates on lighter volume, hopefully the more it breaks out. Which way it breaks out, I'm not sure, but I'm going to have my stop loss, and if I get stopped out, I get stopped out for a little bit. But Zoom has been an industry winner, obviously. It's up huge and is now coiling really nicely through here. So I think I still might have some room to go, but what I did was when it came back to the 8-day exponential moving average, then broke over the previous day's high, just by a little bit too. I jumped the gun a little bit and bought here with a 10% size. Seemed to be working immediately, but got stopped out right at that upper resistance point. But as the last 3 days showed, really light volume and stayed right between that upper resistance and the 8-day exponential moving average. So this has to move drastically in one direction or the other very soon. I think either tomorrow or Friday we'll get a big move. Which direction? Impossible to say. If the big buyer comes in, this is going to shoot up. If people start selling this, it could sell off. Got the 20-day simple moving average right there for support, but I'll be out a little bit earlier with that. Probably use a 5% stop loss on my entry there. So those are all the stocks that I'm currently in that have not yet broken out or broke out, pulled back on low volume that you could still enter if you're looking at it. One stock that I'm not in yet, but is really getting tight here is NVAX. I had shorted all throughout the drop down in, what was that, August, September-ish, basically August. Bounced back and is really starting to create a strong base here. You see higher lows here, lower highs. It's getting tighter, volumes lightening up, volumes in a downtrend. So I had a buy order on this if it broke the previous day's high. Didn't do that today, which is awesome because then it makes today's high the price to watch for a breakout. And with the 8-day and 20-day sitting right there as this is coiled for a month, volume super light, break over today's high, and I'll be buying some on that and looking first at that previous high of 15% jump, and then we have another base to jump to, and that's 42%. So will it go that high? I have no idea, but this is primed for a big move coming up. Had a couple to go over from StockTwits. I know this is running longer than I expected. A lot of stocks due to my overtrading. APA, Yeah, so something that I'm always looking for is a stock that's in a constant uptrend, that's pulling back to some support line to start trading. This you could see drop down in March, I guess, with everything, but really isn't showing the relative strength going in the right direction. You're seeing a downward trend on relative strength, so that's showing weakness. Zooming in, you can see every time it tests that 8-day exponential moving average, it gets knocked right back down. Big selling volume days. So not something that you want to keep your money in while there's so many solid growth stocks just breaking out or priming to break out. So that's my take on APA. If you're already in it right now and you want one last ditch effort to stay in, you could use the low from 10.2, which is 875 as a stop loss, but put your money in a stock that's going to be working for you immediately. That's the goal of trading. That's APA. UPS. This one's looked great. I tried taking it in, what was that, August, late August, early September. Didn't work out, but it's held this gap really well, super strong. And then you can see here, you drew it there, little resistance line. Good solid move today. Not the volume you'd love to see, but again, E-Trade's a little bit slow with their daily volume, so maybe tomorrow we come in and we see a huge volume on that breakout. But really constructive chart, really good relative strength. Look at that, great relative strength. That's an uptrend. Let's see some volume coming in and see some continuation through here. Use that 8-day as your stop loss, or well, just below your 8-day, because that's what held as support previously. That's UPS, CLX, Clorox. This is a chart that always, not Clorox, but like this kind of setup always gives me trouble. So I haven't been successful trading this type where it pulls back and then does just like this really quick jump and then starts to break out. But that's what this looks like it's doing. Pull back. Let's see what it pulled back from the high. 15%. That's not bad at all. And then little pop up, higher low here, and then just started moving. Got good volume right at that 50-day average today, probably more with after hours trading. So this looks strong. You have the 8-day and 20-day simple moving average right below, right at the starting point of the breakout today. So you can use a little bit below that as your stop loss, and this looks strong. First test will be that 50-day simple moving average at 220. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. And finally, Plug, PLUG. This is something that we talked about last week, thanks to either someone in the stream or someone on StockTwits. This is what seems to be happening, where stocks that don't really give you a clean entry are the ones that tend to break out the hardest as well. So you see kind of that a little bit funky pattern here, but basically coming back to that resistance point over and over again. And then we got just huge volume Monday, continuation Tuesday, full throttle today, another 12%, up 4% after hours. So really, really strong stock. If you're already in it, you might be taking some profit as it scales through, but you don't want to be taking everything off because there's a reason it's moving like this. Are you buying at this point? Absolutely not. Trading is all about just weighing risk versus reward, and buying at this point, hoping it goes up even further when you know there's a 16% drop just to the 8-day exponential moving average is not putting risk reward in your favor. Do you take it off your watch list? Absolutely not, because if this pulls back to that 8-day on light volume, it might create a good candle where it can actually give you that low risk entry to break out when you have some support coming at you. So that's Plug. Looks great. Called it out on the stream on Friday. Let's see how far this can run. So those are the stocks that I had to talk about today. Let's just take one from the stream because there's a ton here. Jason, if you want to talk about any of these stocks offline, always available. But let's go. Let's do one I haven't heard of. Let's see which ones. Are there any that haven't broken out yet? We can help people on. Strong. TSM, I already checked that. Oh yeah, what did Baba do? It's already kind of breaking out. Baba, BABA, we talked about last stream, had that low volume pullback to the 8-day exponential moving average, then broke back above that with increased buying volume, and we got some follow through today. This might be one of those ones that are similar to Plug, where it's not going to give you a super clean entry, but honestly, even looking at that, that's just a cup and a handle. Let's see if this breaks through. It's a little bit extended from that 8-day, 3%. I'm adding this to my watch list. This looks primed. Let's see how volume comes in if we break over the previous high here. So what is the previous high? 299, and that's a round number. Have we ever broken 300 before? I don't think so. Yeah. Okay. Baba is definitely on my watch list. Let's get this going tomorrow. All right. With that said, we already ran over time than what I expected. Wanted this to be like 25, 30 minutes, but I've been over trading this week. So those are the stocks that I'm in, how I've handled a couple. A few stocks that I am in right now but haven't broken out just yet or have pulled back on low volume, giving you possibly a low risk entry, and a couple from the watch list. That's going to be it for the Wednesday live stream. If you don't already, please subscribe to my channel. We do these Wednesday and Friday. Follow me on StockTwits and Twitter. On Twitter, it's StockTrickNick, and on StockTwits, it's StockTricks with Nick. Leave a like and comment anything that any other charts that you want me to take a look at, and I'll put my analysis in the comment section.